Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video we'll be discussing about one of the very interesting topics, which is VPC endpoints. Now before we go ahead and discuss more in detail about the VPC endpoints, let's take a simple use case where a communication is required between a EC2 instance and S3 bucket. Now we already know that for the EC2 instance to be able to communicate with various public services like S3, DynamoDB and others, the traffic ultimately needs to be passed via the internet, and that happens via the internet gateway. So the traffic goes through the internet to reach the public S3 endpoint. So if we look into it in an architectural perspective, the EC2 instances that are available, let's assume it is in a public subnet, the traffic first reaches the internet gateway. From the internet gateway, it reaches to the S3 public endpoint towards the S3 bucket. Now this is all good. However, there are certain challenges that are introduced specifically whenever the workloads are private. Let's assume that you have a private subnet where you have created a EC2 instance. Now this EC2 instance wants to communicate with the S3 bucket. Now since there is no direct route that is available via the internet gateway, the EC2 instance will not be able to do a communication with S3. Now one of the question that comes is, why don't you directly put a NAT gateway and then the communication can go via the S3 bucket? So this is good, but many times in lot of organizations the workloads are very sensitive. So they host very sensitive data, and auditor strictly recommends that the EC2 instances should not be able to communicate towards the internet directly or indirectly. So in such cases, the challenge becomes that the EC2 instance will not be able to communicate with the AWS services as well. So this is one of the challenges that many of the organizations they face. Now also some of the downsides, specifically whenever you're making use of a public internet. First one is that there are data transfer costs that are involved. Let's say that you are uploading as well as downloading terabytes of data from EC2 to S3 or vice versa. Then you will have to also pay for the data transfer cost. There will also be a higher latency, specifically if a large amount of data travels over the internet. It can also bottleneck your internet gateways, specifically when you have large amount of data that is being uploaded or downloaded. And also you have a security reasons as well. Now in order to overcome these challenges, AWS has introduced a feature called as VPC endpoints. So at a high level overview, VPC endpoints allows us to connect VPC to another AWS services or to other supported services over a AWS private network, and this is a big advantage. So now let's say an instance in a private subnet wants to communicate with the S3 bucket, assuming that you do not really have a NAT gateway and even internet gateway. With the help of VPC endpoint, this EC2 instance will be able to perfectly communicate to the S3 bucket. So instead of the internet gateway, now you have the VPC endpoint, and this entire network communication that we are discussing, it goes over the AWS private network. It does not go towards the internet. And this is the high level overview about the benefits of VPC endpoint. So before we conclude, let's go ahead and have a quick demo associated with the VPC endpoints. Now for today's demo, I have two EC2 instances that are available. One is in the public subnet and second is in the private subnet. This is very similar to the diagram that we are discussing. You have a EC2 instance in public and you have a EC2 instance in private. Now the EC2 instance in public subnet has a direct route towards the internet gateway, and the EC2 instance in a private subnet does not have any associated route with the internet gateway. Now let me also show you this. So we have this VPC. And within this VPC, so within here, there are two subnets that are available. One is the public subnet. As we already know, if we look into the route table, one of the route goes towards directly the internet gateway. And if we explore the private subnet, you see it does not have any route towards internet gateway or NAT gateway. So you just have a local route that is available. So let's do one thing. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and connect to the private EC2 instance here. Now, since this private EC2 instance does not have any internet route, we cannot directly connect to it. So what we'll do, we'll first connect to the public EC2, and from the public EC2, we'll go ahead and connect to the private EC2 instance. So let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and quickly connect to the public EC2 instance here. So the first SSH that we are doing, it's towards the public EC2. All right, let's quickly go to the root user. And now we'll go ahead and connect to the EC2 instance in a private subnet, and we are connecting via the private IP. So let's go ahead and connect it, and as expected, things are working well. Now from this private EC2, if I'll quickly do AWS S3 LS, I'll also specify a region let's say AP North is 3. As expected, you will not see any result, primarily because there is no way of routing this specific traffic towards the S3. So now I also have the VPC endpoint that is already created. Let's go ahead and associate this endpoint with the route table which is associated with a private subnet. So let me go ahead and do that. So now from the EC2 instance, let's go ahead and run the AWS S3 ls command yet again. And now you see things are working perfectly well. Now this traffic that we were discussing, this traffic is going via the VPC endpoint. So let me also show you this. So within the subnet of private subnet here, if I'll quickly go to the route tables here, apart from one of the routes that was present, you also have one more route with the target of VPC endpoint. So now automatically whenever the traffic from the EC2 instance, when it is destined to go towards the S3 URLs, the traffic will be routed via this specific route. So this route is where the traffic will be routed to, and it will be routed to the VPC endpoint through which the communication happens to the S3 bucket. Great. So I hope at a high level overview you understood the basics of VPC endpoint. Not only it helps us in the data transfer cost, it gives us the lower latency. There is no longer a bottleneck at an internet gateway, and you also have a better security here. Now one of the question that comes is why a better security? Primarily because ultimately even at the S3 level, the traffic between the EC2 and S3 is always encrypted. So do note at a high level overview, even when we discuss about the HTTPS, TLS also has some vulnerabilities that always are released after a certain amount of time. So it is always better when it comes to sending the traffic over a AWS private network rather than sending over the internet. And this is one of the things that auditors are also happy about, specifically for the sensitive workload if you are sending the traffic over the private network. That's great. So I hope with this you understood the basics of VPC endpoints, and will conclude today's video.